Hi Reddit. I'm 45F. If you think you've seen betrayal, let me show you what it looks like when your whole world burns in front of your face, lit by the two people you never thought would touch a match. 2 months ago, I found out my husband was having an affair. That part? Not new, not rare, not even the worst of it. The woman? Our son's girlfriend. Let that sit for a second. Not an ex. Not someone he dated in high school and moved on. No. This was the girl our son had been dating for almost a year. She ate at our dinner table, spent weekends at our cabin, sat next to me at family barbecues while calling me Mrs. Green and asking me for baking tips. I found out completely by accident. It was a Sunday. I was doing laundry and heard my husband's phone buzzing nonstop. Not his usual work spam. This was buzzing. Over and over. He was in the shower. I never checked his phone before, never needed to. But something in my gut said, look. I opened it, saw a string of texts from someone saved as J. Thought it was a work contact until I opened the thread. I can't stop thinking about last night. You made me feel things I've never felt before. He's going to propose soon. We have to tell him. I scrolled up, frozen. The photos came next. Selfies. Her in our guest bathroom. Him kissing her neck. Her wearing my husband's shirt in our house. Then a voice note. She whispered. It felt so wrong, but so right, but I don't know how long we can keep hiding it from him. I felt like I was going to throw up. When he came out of the shower, I was sitting on the bed, holding his phone. I didn't say a word, just played the voice note on speaker. His face went white. Then he said the most cowardly thing I've ever heard in my life. It wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stared at him and said, "You had sex with your son's girlfriend. You don't get to explain that." I packed a bag and left that night. Went straight to my sister's. But the worst part? I couldn't even tell my son yet. Because I didn't know how. Not without destroying him. And Reddit? You have no idea how badly I underestimated just how deep this betrayal really went. I didn't sleep that night. Just laid on my sister's couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying every stupid moment that suddenly meant something different. Every time she giggled at one of his jokes. Every time he complimented her cooking. Every time I caught a glance between them and brushed it off as nothing. I wanted to tell my son immediately. But how the hell do you say it? Hey, honey, your girlfriend's been ***ing your dad. Yeah, that was going to ruin him. So I waited. I needed a plan. I needed proof. Because even though I saw everything with my own eyes, I knew he'd never believe it unless it came with timestamps and bullet points. And sure enough, I wasn't wrong. 2 days later, I met up with him for lunch. Just him and me. No confrontation, no dramatic reveal. I just asked, "Everything okay between you and Jenna?" He smiled, said she'd been a little off lately, but he figured it was stress. Finals. Work. Said he was thinking of proposing after graduation. Proposing. I nearly dropped my fork. I said, "Can I ask you something weird?" He said, "Sure. If someone told you Jenna cheated, what would you do?" He laughed. She'd never. Trust me, Mom. She's not like that. Oh, you sweet, sweet kid. That night, I finally cracked. I couldn't hold it anymore. I texted Jenna. I know. Don't play dumb. Stay away from my son, or I go nuclear. She read it. Didn't reply. But guess who did? My husband. Called me at 11:47 p.m. Why are you threatening her? I said, "You're lucky I haven't posted the photos to Facebook yet." He got quiet. Then try to flip it on me. "You're being emotional. This is complicated. You'll tear this family apart." I lost it. "No, you tore this family apart. I'm just dragging it into the light." I hung up. 2 days later, Jenna messaged me. A full paragraph. "It wasn't what you think. It only happened a couple times. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. He told me you were separated. He said you didn't love him anymore." I laughed so hard I nearly choked. She thought she was the victim. But it was that line, "He said you didn't love him anymore," that did it for me. Because I finally understood something. They weren't sorry. They were just scared. And they weren't done. So after Jenna's pathetic text, trying to gaslight her way out of the situation, I knew two things. She was scared, not sorry. My husband had clearly told her lies about me. But what I didn't know yet was how deep he'd gone. I didn't respond. I wanted to see what their next move would be. And it didn't take long. 4 days later, my son shows up at my sister's. Unannounced. I open the door, and he's visibly pissed. "Why are you threatening Jenna?" I blinked. What? She told me you've been harassing her. Said you're trying to ruin her life because you never like her. I wanted to scream. Instead, I calmly walked to my bag, pulled out my phone, opened the messages, scrolled to the pictures, and handed it to him. He stared. 5 seconds. 10. Then just whispered, "What the F asterisk asterisk K?" I sat down across from him and said nothing. Just let him scroll. He kept going through the texts, the voice note, the screenshots I'd taken off his dad's phone. He looked like someone unplugged his soul. Is this real? Yes. How long? Months. At least. Silence. He stood up, paced, punched the back of the couch, then said, "I proposed to her last week. She said yes." That nearly broke me. He sat down, head in hands, and just kept repeating, "What the FK, what the FK," over and over. I didn't hug him, didn't cry. I knew this wasn't about comfort. He was grieving the loss of 2 people at once. He finally asked, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Divorce. This week." And then he asked something I didn't expect. "Can I come with you?" I said, "Of course." Because at that point, he needed to get out too. From both of them. He went back to their place the next day while I stayed quiet. Then at 2:07 a.m., I got a message from him. She admitted it. He tried to lie again. I'm done. Next morning, Jenna was gone. Gone from the apartment. Gone from social media. Gone from our lives. But the part one didn't see coming was what my husband did after she left. Because instead of hiding, he got angrier. And when men like him feel exposed, they don't disappear. They retaliate. So yeah, Jenna vanished. But my husband? He went full scorched earth. It started the same day she left. My son moved his stuff into my sister's guest room, and we were figuring out next steps, therapists, lawyers, damage control, when I got an email. For his lawyer. Subject line, regarding property concerns in divorce proceedings. I hadn't even filed yet. But he beat me to it. Preemptively filed for divorce and claimed I was emotionally unstable and had damaged marital assets in a fit of rage. What rage? I haven't even touched anything besides my own suitcase. Then the real kicker. Client is seeking exclusive ownership of primary residence due to unsafe environment caused by spouse. He wanted the damn house. The same house I bought with my inheritance from my dad. The one that's only in my name. I checked. He never even signed a co-ownership form. I forwarded the email to my attorney, and she called me laughing. He's swinging. Sloppy. But we need to get moving fast. So we filed back. Detailed everything. The affair, the photos, the messages, the voice memos, the timeline. And then he showed up at my sister's house. No call. No warning. Just banged on the door like a lunatic, yelling, "You're destroying this family. Tell the truth. You were the cold one. You drove me to it." My sister opened the door and said, "Leave, or I'm calling the cops." He stormed off, peeled out of the driveway. And then he texted my son, "She's lying. Don't let her poison you." That backfired hard. My son screenshotted the whole conversation and posted it to his private story. Caption, "This is what a narcissist sounds like when he loses control." That post spread fast. Family started calling, asking questions. His brother messaged me, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was that bad." Turns out, this wasn't his first affair, just the first one that hit home. But the worst part was what Jenna posted the next day. Because for someone who disappeared, she sure knew how to make a comeback. Jenna resurfaced on Instagram like nothing ever happened. After ghosting everyone for days, she posted a photo in a cafe, soft lighting, full makeup with the caption, "Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones who silence your truth the loudest." Healing, not hiding. And the comments? Full of sympathy. "You're so brave. We love you no matter what they say. Can't believe people are dragging you over a mistake. Stay strong, queen." I nearly threw my phone. She was flipping it, turning herself into the victim, pretending we were the abusers for calling her out. My son saw it too. He texted, "Is she serious? She's acting like we did something to her." But she didn't stop there. Next day, she went on TikTok, posted a teary-eyed video. No names, no direct accusations, just vague language and emotional bait. When you love someone and their family turns on you because you weren't good enough, just know it's not your fault. Sometimes they'll do anything to protect their lies. It hit 100K views in 24 hours. People in the comments guessed everything. Sounds like a toxic MIL. She was probably dating a mama's boy. She deserves better. No one knew she was talking about her boyfriend's father, who she was sleeping with behind everyone's back. That same night, I got an anonymous message in my inbox. You should be ashamed for tearing a young girl down just because she didn't bow to your control. You're a bitter woman. I laughed. Bitter? You sleep with your boyfriend's dad, and I'm the bitter one? But then something serious hit me. She was laying groundwork. Jenna was rebranding. From homewrecker to misunderstood survivor. From the girl who seduced her boyfriend's father to the girl whose life was stolen by controlling adults. My lawyer warned me. Watch her. If she keeps this up, she might try to preemptively file harassment claims. And guess what? 2 days later, we got a notice from her lawyer. Claimed we'd been publicly defaming a private citizen through online smear campaigns. It was laughable until I saw that they included my son's Instagram story as evidence. She was going for a restraining order. Not against him. Against me. That's when I knew. She wasn't just hiding. She was going to war. So yeah, Jenna's lawyer tried filing a restraining order. Against me. Filed under emotional harassment, defamation, and social sabotage. I'm not even joking. They used screenshots of my son's Instagram story, a few vague Facebook comments from my friends, and one email I sent her, the one where I told her to stay away from my son, or I go nuclear. They twisted it, made it sound like I threatened her life. My lawyer looked at the papers and said, it's weak, but it's not nothing. She's trying to box you out of the narrative. And here's the kicker. Her lawyer attached an affidavit. From my husband. He co-signed it. Said I'd been unhinged since the separation. That I'd harassed Jenna. That I had a history of controlling behavior and was now obsessed with destroying her. My jaw hit the floor. He was backing her. Publicly. Legally. The same man who begged me not to tell our son, just yet when I caught him cheating. Now, playing the protector role for the girl who blew up our family. And it worked, at least on paper. A court date was set for the temporary restraining order hearing. Meanwhile, I couldn't comment publicly without looking retaliatory. But Jenna? Still posting cryptic healing content. Still getting sympathy. Still hiding behind vague trauma buzzwords and turning my family's wreckage into her story. But here's what they didn't know. While Jenna and my husband were playing TikTok saints, my son was documenting everything. Texts, calls, voice memos, all of it. He sent me a recording. Jenna left him a voicemail 2 nights after she filed the order. I didn't want to do this, okay? But your mom's making it impossible. I'm scared of what she'll do. I don't know how else to protect myself. That message? Same night, she posted a smiling selfie in full glam at a party, captioned, "Energy protected. Boundaries secured." We sent the voicemail to our lawyer. Then I pulled out the final piece. The surveillance footage. From my house. The night she came over, before I knew about the affair, when she stayed late to help with dinner. Footage showed her and my husband in the kitchen, touching, whispering, kissing, all time-stamped, all before my son proposed. My lawyer smiled and said, "Now, this is evidence. Let's bury them." The court date was a week away, and I was done playing defense. Court day came. I wore black. Not for drama, for focus. Jenna showed up in soft pink, no makeup, acting like a wounded bird. She looked right at me in the hallway and turned away fast. She didn't bring my husband. That said enough. Inside, her lawyer tried hard. Talked about emotional distress, how Jenna had suffered an online smear campaign, how she'd been stalked, harassed, and shamed for a relationship that was misunderstood and misrepresented. Then he pulled out the texts. My warning message. A few angry DMs from mutual friends. And my son's Instagram story. He said I created a hostile online mob that made Jenna fear for her safety. The judge looked unimpressed. My lawyer stood up. Calm. Collected. Your Honor, we have 2 things. 1. A voicemail recorded by Jenna herself 2 nights after she filed this order. And 2. Video surveillance showing the inappropriate relationship that triggered all of this. He played the voicemail. Jenna's voice came through crystal clear. I didn't want to do this, okay? But your mom's making it impossible. The judge stopped him right there. This was left for the respondent's son? Yes, and she's claiming fear of the respondent, while privately admitting this wasn't her idea. My lawyer nodded. Then came the bomb. He pulled up the security footage on a tablet, placed it right in front of the judge. Time-stamped, clear as day. Jenna and my husband, in our kitchen, holding hands, whispering. He kissed her neck. She laughed. They both looked toward the hallway like they thought no one would notice. The judge didn't even watch the whole thing. He shut it off. Miss, I'm denying the request for a restraining order. This appears retaliatory. You've used legal resources to silence the people you harmed. She broke. Right there. Started crying. Not soft, full-on sobbing in the courtroom. The judge turned to her lawyer. This borders on abuse of process. If this continues, I'll report it. I stayed quiet. No celebration. No smugness. Just relief. After court, Jenna left without speaking to anyone. My ex texted me 10 minutes later. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You always wanted to be the victim. I didn't reply. I forwarded the text to my lawyer. Because now we were talking spousal misconduct. And what that opens up. Alimony. Assets. Everything. After the restraining order got thrown out, Jenna disappeared again. No more posts. No stories. No sympathy captions. But my husband? He went into panic mode. Because once the judge cited abuse of process and my lawyer filed for spousal misconduct, everything changed. That little stunt with Jenna wasn't just gross. It legally flipped the power dynamic in the divorce. Now he was the unfaithful spouse. Now I could go after everything. His pension, his shares in the business, his car, the lake cabin he begged me to sign over to him 2 years ago for tax reasons. Yeah, we pulled that title paperwork too. And I wasn't playing fair anymore. My lawyer drafted the revised filing. I read it line by line. It laid him bare. Affair with a 20-something while married. Manipulated and co-signed legal harassment against his own wife. Weaponized custody implications. He tried to throw that in early on too. Financial misconduct and attempts to preemptively file for sole property control. We attached everything. Surveillance footage. Voicemails. The restraining order dismissal. Jenna's healing posts, which conveniently contradicted her legal claims. My son helped too. He gave us a full text history, start to finish. Every message Jenna sent, from flirting to begging, to accusing, to apologizing. There were hundreds. It built a timeline so perfect, it looked scripted. Then came mediation. My ex showed up thinking he'd negotiate like usual. He didn't even make it through the first hour. The mediator turned to him and said, Mr. Green, based on what's been presented, your position is extremely weak. I would advise you to settle while you still have leverage. He froze. And for once, he listened. By the end of that session, he agreed. I keep the house. I keep the cabin. I keep the car. I get monthly spousal support for the next 3 years. Oh, and he pays legal fees. He looked like someone kicked the floor out from under him. He didn't say a word as we left the room. My lawyer turned to me in the hallway and said, That's what accountability looks like. But the part that really stuck was what came next. Because when the dust settled and I thought it was over, Jenna came back. And what she said, not even I saw that coming. I was finally breathing again. Divorce terms signed. Settlement locked. My son started therapy. I was sleeping through the night for the first time in months. And then, Jenna showed up. Not online. In person. She came to my job. I was walking to my car after closing up the office, and there she was, leaning on the hood of a black Uber like it was a casual run-in. I stopped in my tracks. What do you want? She looked tired. Different. Not smug, just wrecked. I just want to talk. 5 minutes. I didn't say yes. Didn't say no either. I just stood there. Then she dropped it. He lied to me too. I rolled my eyes. Welcome to the club. But then she went deeper. He told me you'd left him. That you cheated. That he was alone. I believed him. She pulled out her phone. Opened a message thread. His name at the top. Messages from before I even found out. Him telling her I was cold, distant, manipulative. Said we were just cohabitating. That our marriage was over in everything but paperwork. Then one message hit me hard. Once this divorce is done, we can finally start over. He planned it. This wasn't just a fling. He was engineering an exit, and Jenna was dumb enough to fall for it. She looked up and said, I didn't come to make things right. I just wanted you to know I wasn't trying to ruin your family. I thought I was saving someone. And that pissed me off more than anything. You didn't ruin it by accident, Jenna. You made choices. You climbed into my house, my life, and my son's relationship, and you set fire to all of it. She nodded. Took it. I get it. I wanted to say it. You deserve to hear it. Then she got into the car and left. No tears. No redemption arc. Just gone. I haven't seen her since. But that moment, it closed something in me. Because she was right about one thing. I did deserve to hear it. But what I really deserved was what came next. It's been 3 months. No more court dates. No more threats. No more crying into my sister's pillow or waking up at 3 a.m. wondering how the hell I missed the signs. The house is mine again. Clean. Quiet. Full of things that feel like me, not like some double life my ex was living under my nose. My son moved into his own apartment 2 weeks ago. He comes by for Sunday dinner. We don't talk about Jenna anymore. Not because we're avoiding it, because we've said everything that needed to be said. He told me recently, I'm not mad at you for not telling me sooner. I'm proud of how you handled it. And that broke me more than anything else. Not because it hurt, but because I finally knew. I made it out. My ex, still trying to save face. I heard through a mutual that he's telling people I turned the kids against him, that I ruined his reputation, that I used the divorce to bleed him dry. Let him talk. Let him rewrite his own fall. I'm not cleaning up his mess anymore. Jenna? Still gone. Her social media is on lockdown. Last thing I saw was a quote post. Growth is uncomfortable because you've never been here before. I nearly laughed, because if that's growth, it came after setting fire to a family and running from the smoke. Whatever. This story doesn't end with her. Or him. It ends here with me. I'm 45, newly divorced. Not broken. Not bitter. And for the first time in my adult life, free.